Okay, so you've definitely heard the term content marketing thrown around. It's kind of one of those buzzwords that's just everywhere. But what does it actually mean? And, how does it really work? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down step by step.
All right, here's the game plan. We'll nail down what content marketing even is. Then, we'll peek inside the toolkit of all the cool stuff you can create. After that, we'll follow the customer's journey, figure out who we're even talking to, and see how to build a solid strategy. And of course, we'll wrap up with the good, the bad, and the bottom line.
First things first, let's get right to it and move past all the jargon. So really, what is content marketing? I mean, it's way more than just, firing off a few social media posts or writing a blog here and there. At its heart, it's a totally different way of thinking about how we connect with people, a huge shift from old school advertising.
Okay, so here's the textbook definition, but let's make it simple. It's all about a strategy. And the magic words here are valuable, relevant, and consistent. See, instead of just shouting at people with ads they didn't ask for, the whole idea is to pull them in by giving them something they actually want, something useful or entertaining, and then doing that again and again.
And listen, this isn't just about making cool stuff for the fun of it. There's a real purpose here. Good content marketing does some heavy lifting for a business. It helps you get seen, builds that all-important trust, makes you friends with Google, and yep, at the end of the day, it's about driving real growth.
All right, so what does this valuable content actually look like in the wild? Well, there's a whole creative toolkit you can play with.
I mean, you've got everything from blogs and articles to super shareable infographics, podcasts, and hey, even videos just like this one. And if you want to go deeper, there are things like ebooks, white papers, and case studies that show off your successes. The key thing to remember is that the format you pick, it all depends on your goal, and most importantly, your audience.
Now, here's where it gets really cool. All these different pieces of content aren't just random. They work together to guide a person on a path, taking them from a complete stranger who's never heard of you to a loyal fan. And we call this whole process the marketing funnel.
So it kicks off with awareness. This is where you just want to get on someone's radar with stuff like blogs or fun social posts. Next up is consideration. Here, you're giving them more detailed info, like guides or webinars, to help them weigh their options. Then, when they're close to making a decision, you hit the conversion stage with persuasive stuff like case studies. And it doesn't stop there. Finally, you build loyalty by giving your existing customers special, exclusive content.
But here's the thing. None of this works if you're just screaming into an empty room, right? To make content that's actually valuable and relevant, you have got to know who are you really talking to. And that brings us to this super useful idea called a buyer persona. Honestly, just think of it like you're a novelist creating a character. This isn't a real person, but it's a detailed sketch of your ideal customer. It helps you get inside their head and understand what they really need and what makes them tick.
Let's make this real. For example, meet Rhea. We know she's 28, she's a digital marketing exec, and what she wants is quick productivity tools. And here's the kicker. She prefers short videos. Just knowing that, it tells you everything. You know exactly what kind of content will grab her attention. You're not going to send her a huge 50-page report, are you? No way.
Okay, so you've made a great video for Rhea. Awesome. But how do you go from that one-off piece of content to building a whole cohesive strategy that delivers results over and over again? That's where a good strategy framework comes in. It's basically your game plan. Before you even think about creating something, it makes you answer 5 simple but crucial questions. Why are we even doing this? Who are we talking to? What are we going to make for them? How are we going to pull it off? And when is it all going live?
And what this does is pretty amazing. It's the big shift from just, throwing content at the wall and hoping something sticks, to building a sustainable, predictable machine that delivers value consistently. And a huge piece of that machine is understanding that content has a life of its own. It's not just create, publish, and forget. Nope. It has a whole life cycle that you need to manage from the moment it's just an idea all the way to the end. Let's break that down into 5 phases.
So you start with a plan, then you produce the content and publish it. But, and this is key, it doesn't stop there. You've got to assess how it's doing, are people engaging with it, and then you do some housekeeping. Maybe you update an old blog post with new info, or you repurpose it into something new, like a video. This whole cycle is what keeps your content fresh and working hard for you, long after you first put it out there.
Phew! Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from the big ideas to the nitty-gritty details. So, let's step back for a second and look at the bottom line. Is this all worth it? Let's talk pros and cons.
So here's the deal. On the plus side, the benefits are massive. You can build real authority and trust, get a steady stream of traffic, and forge long-term relationships with customers. But, and it's a big but, it's not a magic bullet. It requires real, consistent effort, and the results don't happen overnight. The competition for attention is fierce out there. It's definitely a marathon, not a sprint.
So, to wrap this all up, I want to leave you with one final question to think about. The last time you went online and searched for something, what did you actually click? Was it the result with the little ad tag next to it? Or was it that super helpful article or that quick video that gave you exactly the answer you were looking for? I'm willing to bet you clicked on the content. And that right there shows you just how powerful content marketing already is in your own life.